We sometimes pick fancy names or just kind of weird names that I guess we think sound good or that impress other people. We want to pick names for our children that are rare, that no one else has those names. And friends, in some cases, we really do our children a great disservice. So as we're talking about the covenant names of God, let's just start with this idea of even identifying at a very basic level, what is a name, friends? Take a look at this. Names matter. When we ask the question, what's in a name? Friends, names matter. Name defines character and nature. So when a name is spoken, it's really a prophetic declaration over a person's life and into that person's life, and also into and over their destiny every single time their name is called. Friends, you'll be amazed to understand how people, sometimes their behavior, their conduct, their personality, and their mannerisms, friends, is the result of them acting out the name that is being spoken over them or the name that was given to them. I picked the names out for our daughter and our son. I decided to name our daughter Hannah. Hannah is a Hebrew word that means favor, grace, or gracious. Her conduct, her mannerisms, friends, every time we call her name Hannah, you know what? We're speaking favor over her life. We're speaking grace and God's graciousness over her life, friends. And you know what? Her personality, friends, seems to be a self-fulfilling prophecy of the name that we gave her at the very beginning of her life. Jonathan means gift from God. It means gift from God in Hebrew context. And so by naming my son Jonathan, we call him, every time we call his name on a cell phone, if we send him a text message, if we're calling him in the house, every time we say Jonathan, we're saying you are a gift from God. You are a gift from God. When his teachers in the classroom call his name, when his friends call his name, you know what? They are prophesying and declaring over his life and over his destiny that you are a gift from God. When Hannah's friends contact her in any setting, formal or informal, they are declaring that you are gracious. You are favored. God's grace and God's favor is upon you. Friends, that is the importance and the significance, again, of names mattering. That when you call a person's name, that name is a prophetic declaration of that reality over that person's life and over their future. People tend to behave like the names that have been given to them. I understand in the Western society here in America especially, you know what, friends, we don't understand these kinds of principles. This is something kind of rare for us that's not talked about much. It's not part of our culture. It's not something that we grow up with an understanding or being taught in terms of why names matter. I'm not necessarily suggesting for you to change your name, friends, but it's important sometimes to think about or even research what your name really means. John's father, his father became silent because he was attempting to give John the wrong name. The Lord silenced his mouth to make sure that he did not give the wrong name to John, because John's destiny and John had a significant role in the purposes of God, friends. And so this is something that, again, in the ancient Near East culture, in the Bible culture, in the biblical culture, friends, name means a lot, and there's significant meaning associated with it. So when we're talking about the covenant names of God, keep that in mind as we contextualize this teaching, to know that names have very, very significant meaning in biblical and ancient Near East context, that we sometimes have to take a moment. I'm taking a few moments right now to explain this, because otherwise it's sometimes difficult to just kind of teach this in a Western American context if we don't have a understanding of what's called the cultural milieu or the context in which the scriptures were written. Friends, names matter. Names are very significant.